Welcome to the 2029 Major League season. It's April 1st, 2029, opening day. It's time once again for Blue Jays baseball. Preseason predictions, of course, the realigned leagues that we covered in the last episode are shown here. The gist is the Brewers, we went to 4 divisions of 8 teams. The Brewers came over to the AL, which is in our division, and they're really good. The gist of the divisions is like they're pretty close to like the 1980s divisions plus like new teams. So the Brewers came over to the AL. Everything else is like the same in terms of league alignment here. And then in the NL, we've got the NL East. We shifted some teams around, like we put the Braves in the East where they belong. They were in the West in the 80s, which is just crazy. And then we have the San Juan Iguanas, who are predicted to not come in last, which is nice to see. And then the Calgary Chickadees, who are predicted to come in last in the NL West. So, tough travel schedule here for the Cincinnati Reds. Like they're gonna be out of their time zone a lot. Like let's just see what their schedule is the first. So they open against Atlanta, then they play San Francisco, then they go to San Diego, then they come home, and then they go to LA, then they come home. These poor guys, man. These poor guys. They've got the worst travel schedule in baseball. I was gonna shift them somewhere. I probably could have shifted them with the Cubs. That probably would have made sense, but I don't know. I just decided to leave them where they were in the 80s. So anyways, we are predicted to, postseason. The 2 division winners make it, and then 2 wild cards from each league. The first round is a best of 3 at the division winner versus wild card at the 3 straight games at the division winners stadium, home games. And then you get a best of 7 for the LCS and a best of 7 for the World Series. So we are predicted this would put us in the postseason because we'd get the second wild card in the AL with 90 wins. 787 runs looks pretty decent, which is good to see because I'm a little worried about some question marks in our offense. Our runs against also looking really good. 675 is like pretty elite here. It's interesting how my ERA is lower than the Brewers, but they're predicted to go up fewer runs. Weird. The Orioles looking rough. The White Sox looking like they are favored to win their division, which is interesting because they haven't been good in a while. Connor Griffin. They signed him in this one. I had a sim where they drafted him 5th overall, and then they didn't sign him, and I drafted him out of college, and he was like fine, but never great. How's he done in the minors here? Pretty good minor league career. Does not had much time at AAA. Anyways, that's your Connor Griffin content. Interesting. I don't really know why the Astros this much. I think this is just a fluky thing. I'm going to be shocked if this happens to them because, they've been to the postseason. This is their last 3 years, really solid. They've got Rutschman, Pascantino, like their outfield. They've got some elite guys. They have a decent starting rotation. I don't know, man. I'm just going to be surprised if that happens. And Corbin Burns is their number 2. The Orioles traded him. What was this trade? I don't remember seeing this one. Sorry if I looked at it before and just don't remember. Nate Smart. Okay, that's a pretty good prospect who's far away. 2nd overall pick in 2027. Robbie Bautista. Pretty good looking pitching prospect. When was he drafted? 93rd overall in 2027. And then Jaden Hart. Another decent prospect. I think that's a decent deal for the Orioles, who have been god-awful in this sim and don't have Adley or Gunnar anymore. Is this the last year of his deal too? Yeah, and it's last. The Orioles retained 45%. That's a little rough, but it's the last year of his deal. You'll take that, I think. But yeah, okay. Let's get into my team. I did. If you watched the last episode, you might remember that I was in negotiations with Jose Siri to come in. Kind of like fell through the cracks. Like was not demanding much money, but I was pretty adamant that I wasn't going to meet his demand of $7 million. I offered him 5, and then he came back to me saying like, okay, maybe like 5 or 6, and I was like, how about 3.5? And he got offended and cut off negotiations and then signed with the Orioles. We're expecting him to probably be pretty good. He's making 4.32. I would have done that. But it was showing no other teams are interested, which is never like a sure thing. Sometimes teams are negotiating, even if it's not showing as interested on that off-season center page. So the Orioles swooped in and got what I think is a really good deal. Kind of wish I had done it, but oh well. I think one major thing to highlight of this season is Ricky Tiedemann, who looked like he was potentially turning into a top half of the rotation guy for us. He's out like pretty much the whole year with a torn rotator cuff. And then Orelvis Martinez, who bats in the middle of our lineup and has been, you can see well above league average for the Sims hitter. He got hurt last year. He was due back, and then at the end of January, we found out he had a setback, and he's out basically this whole year too. That's pretty brutal news moving into the season for us, especially because a lot of minor league guys here shifting around on opening day, especially because of the fact that like our offense was like, I think we needed another bat, and now I think we might need two. Basically, the start of the season is going to be seeing if we can get a breakout from a guy that we signed or one of our minor league guys. But I'm not convinced this offense is good enough. And the Martinez injury really drove that home. This offseason, I didn't land like a big guy. I wasn't able to pull off like a trade I was really thrilled about. Some off seasons are great. Some are like, okay. I still think we have a good team, but I don't think this offense is going to be good enough. I think we're going to have to bring in more firepower. So you've got Kirk, Guerrero, Arcia, Mayo, Arias around the infield. Arcia was the free agent signing, $2 million just to hopefully solidify the defense. Although we did have success in the development lab. Schreier's infield range went up to 65. He's our second-round pick, 60th overall in 2024. He's done well in the minors. He missed a lot of time last year with post-concussion syndrome, but he's there. Bryce Matthews also upped his infield range to 65, so he's another option at second base. So Arcia, kind of the veteran to hopefully give us a decent floor of performance, but you never know how it's going to go. All the rest of the guys are back from last year. Drew Burris will get some time here in left field, and he's our first-round pick, 5th overall from that year we had the disaster year, I think in 2025. Yeah, so then we picked him in 2026. He's hit very well in the minors, moved up quickly through the system as a college bat, and he wasn't very good last year in 191 plate appearances, but this is his chance. Sal Frelick, because of the Varsho, departed. He went to Cleveland, I think, signed like 3 or 4 years for $15 million per. He's like 32. So Frelick, who has been really good for us, but has not played center yet. His defensive metrics in center are not great, but he does have the 70 range in the limited appearances he's had in center in the sim. Not great, but the 70 range, we're hoping it works out. We do have Burris, who has the 65 range. What is Chisholm's range? Yeah, 65 as well. So we have other options. Barger is a guy that just hasn't. We wanted him at second base, and it just didn't really work out. His 55 range, like he looked decent, and I don't know. His metrics were just always terrible there. So we're putting him in the outfield. We're putting him in right field. He's hit well, but this will be his first time as an everyday player. And then Juan Soto at DH. I think that, possibly against righties, Chisholm is going to get some playing time for Burris and actually for Barger too. I should have him in there because Barger is a lefty. Oh, no. So, yeah. Oh, they're both lefties. Never mind. So we're going to start him every 5th game at both of those. Schreier's going to get some time on the infield. Matthews probably won't play a ton, but maybe we should give him some time here. Like just give him like every 7th game or so, just to get him some regular ABs. And yeah, let's give these guys some ABs here too. Just a little bit of time against righties. And all right, so then against lefties, we're going to come over here. So Barger is a lefty. I almost think like maybe I should just have Matthews in here is my thought. Schreier got a bunch of experiences other places, so he can play here too. Yeah, let me do this actually. Let me move Barger out here and move Schreier down just to get. I want to give these guys some chances to prove themselves. We're really hoping we get a guy that will pop off and do really well for us. Burris, we got Matthews there. Let's put him in every 6th game there for Burris. Frelick in center again. But yeah, so that's the way we're going to run out there. We'll give Matthews some more time here for 9th game. I mean, he's in the starting lineup, although not every day, so we don't need to give him a ton of time, but we'll give him some time. Just some ABs so guys aren't going like 2 to 3 weeks between starts. Pitching, we're missing Tiedemann, but we've still got Rogers, Jones, Ashby as our top three. Ashby won the Cy Young last year. Has Rogers won a Cy? No, 2 All-Star games. I just did this to stagger lefty-righty. Hagen Smith, the first-round pick from 2024, 20th overall. He pitched out of our bullpen last year and was really good with a 2.83 ERA. This is his year. Would love for him to step up. And then Mason Black, who we claimed in Rule 5 in 2025. And then he was pretty bad for us the year. He's a Rule 5 guy in our bullpen, but then hasn't been in AAA the last 2 years and been solid, so we're giving him a chance. The back end of our bullpen was basically like, let's find guys that are undervalued in the free agent market because we lost a bunch of bullpen arms to free agency. Just kind of worked out that year. Almonte, we'll see how he does as the closer. Not convinced he's the answer, but between Carson Coleman, who does have options if he fails, no major league experience. I'm going to give him the setup role to start, though. Rogers is getting really old, was really bad last year, but hoping for a bounce back. Romano, Beeks, I think could slide into the back end of the bullpen if any of these guys falter. Fluharty and Cease are just kind of like, they'll probably be used less often once we get into the season, but we'll see how they do. And then Kendry Rojas is an arm who, honestly, I'm not sure why I haven't given him a chance before now. I really don't know. Maybe I talked about it in an earlier video and don't remember, but he's just done nothing but pitch well. And then in the last 3 years, he's been in AAA and been really solid, at least WAR-wise. ERA not quite as solid last year, but I mean, he's been consistent with the strikeout to walk, so he's going to get some time as the long reliever. Our farm system is lacking a bit in high-end talent. Luis Castillo, a center fielder, probably corner outfield guy who can also play some infield. What's his infield? Infield range is 60, so. So he is our only top 100 prospect, but I think we've got some other guys who are decent, like Shamar Rumble is a pitcher in Double-A. Junior Marino is just looks like a really good bat just without a home. I honestly think he's trade bait. I shopped around some this offseason and wasn't totally happy, but I think if I package him with somebody, it's just he doesn't have a defensive home, and I have Vlad and Soto already at first base and DH. I guess I could put Soto in the outfield. Like, if our offense is really struggling, I could put Soto in left and call Marino up the DH. Spindler is an A-ball and looks like he could be decent, but a long way to go. Schreier, our second-round pick from 2024, is getting his first dose of Major League Ball this year. We've got some other decent guys out there who just aren't, top prospect status. I get like this guy Obenhaus, 70 range, crushed it in high A last year. He's 23 in Double-A, so I think we have some decent arms out there. Mike Donlin is another one that I like, who isn't a top prospect but was a 4th-round pick in 2027 and is already in Triple-A. Was Becker? I'm trying to remember who this was. Oh yeah, so he hasn't pitched well at Triple-A yet, but a decent. He's 26. We'll see. Rumble, we talked about. Barrera is in AAA. So we've got a bunch of decent arms up high in our system. Daniel Guerra is another one. No superstars. We're lacking game-breaking superstar talent, but I think we have good depth pieces in our system. Just showing you a few more. Sammy Shaw, not sure about him, but so that's the squad as it looks now. I think there will be some changes this season, and we do have, this is this could be a big transitional year for us. We got Trevor Rogers with the opt-out and then 2 more years. Cease, thank goodness that money will come off the books. Just injuries have just totally killed his career. Kirk is a free agent. Ashby's a free agent. So, and then Vlad has a player option. So, a lot of potential changes next season. And I did look to try to especially Ashby and maybe Rogers a little bit. I looked to turn these guys for guys with more club control, but there just wasn't a deal out there that made sense. It made the team too much worse this season. So here we are with our team that we'll see how long we keep them together. Obviously, if this team struggles, we've got a lot of pieces to trade and do a quick retool. But we've got the Red Sox on opening day. What's their prediction? 94 wins. So we've got the Red Sox here. We'll sim that game and then look at it. Yeah, I mean, this team is stacked. This team is very much stacked. Where's Rafael Devers? Oh, he's a first baseman here. I was looking at third base. I was like, where'd this dude go? He's still got several years left on that deal he signed with the Red Sox in real life. But yeah, this Miguel Blaze is a should be a good player for them, and he's not rated highly here yet. But this team is going to be a problem. This team is definitely going to be a problem. Felix Bautista, how did he leave the O's? Wait, the Juan Soto? Oh, no, different Juan Soto. Got it. So there's still 2 guys who are in rookie ball. Oh, he's traded at the trade deadline. Got it. Okay. And then he rejected the qualifying offer and then signed a 3-year, $61 million deal with Boston, and he's pitched, 2 years there? Oh, 1 year there. He put up 3.4 WAR last year. Goodness gracious. So, yeah, let's just see how we do here opening day. Take a look at the box score and all that. Oh, wait, I have some guys. You guys want to see some fun stuff here? So, are any of these guys worth keeping? No. I'm fine cutting him. He's 25. He can go. Just kind of cleaning out the... He's 24. Fine to cut him. Fine to cut him. Yeah, all these guys are just older guys that have, aged out of AA and are not good enough to... Oh, yeah, we're not getting rid of him. Is he, just have too many... Who was that? Was that Mora? Does he have, too much experience to play in low A, maybe? Yeah, well, hopefully he can survive there in high A. Pacheco... Cade Curdlin, first-round pick from 2025. I mean, what are you going to do? Where are you going to put him? I guess we could see if he's still eligible for AA. He is. Namala has just totally flamed out. I mean, negative 2.1 WAR in high A last year. Can he still play there or no? No. So we'll put him in AA, but he's probably going to get DFA'd almost immediately again. And then that guy's fine to go. So all these guys can go. That's fine. I agree with your decisions, computer. And I already checked the Major League waivers. Not a lot of guys on waivers. No one that I saw that was too enticing. So we lose on opening day 5-3. We get runs. Vlad and Mayo both drove in and scored a run with a hit. Soto scored a run, and Frelick had a ribby. Doubles from Mayo, Guerrero, and Kirk. And Jones started because it was for some reason... Oh, I have 2 T. Rogers. First, I thought my ace. Yeah, for some reason, Trevor Rogers pitched. There was only 3 days between the end of spring training and opening day, and he pitched the last spring training game. I just wasn't paying attention, so he wasn't available to start opening day for us. So we should probably just have him start this game. So Jones was solid. Oh, Almonte blew it in the top of the 9th. It was a tie game, and he gave up 2 runs. Gave up a 2-run homer to Garrett Mitchell. Well, that's a bummer. So our new bullpen did not have a good showing on the first day. Man, we got to go out to Oakland right away. At home against Boston. In Oakland. Look at this. I love this. We have a 10:35 game on the West Coast and then back home at 1:05 p.m. the next day. Okay. I love some of those quirks in the out of the park schedules. Next day against Boston. Ooh, big win, 10-3. Who did it? Mayo hit a homer. Vlad hit a homer. 2 hits from Burris. Love to see that. 2 hits from Soto. Yeah, cool. 2 ribbies from Arcia. Rogers pitched decent. Fluharty pitched okay. And then Cease mopped it up. Yeah, actually, Cease should have mop-up duty. Okay, cool. All right, let's finish out this first series here. Oh, no. Our starting shortstop, Gold Glove shortstop, is out for 4 months. We have some guys who can play. We have some of those 65 range guys, but we don't have another Gabriel Arias or even a guy who can do his glove. This is just, as brutal of injuries as we can have. So he's out May, June, July. He's gonna be back early August. Ugh, that is just brutal, guys. So we could try Schreier there. He's got the 65 range. We could try Matthews there with the 65 range. Arcia is at this point, 60. In our organization, let's look at all players. That's a really tough injury, man. We got a 17-year-old. We've got, that guy's not ready. This guy's probably the closest thing to ready, and he's in A-ball just because we just drafted him last year. He's probably going to move up to AA this year, but he's not ready. That guy's obviously not ready. And then you get a bunch of 65 guys, which we've already got on the roster. So really, I think it's going to come down to Schreier and Matthews. Like, we're going to have to see how they do in the field. Hopefully they aren't totally brutal. You know, bat-wise, I think we can handle it. But, yeah, that sucks, though. Who are we going to call up? Let's figure that out. Let's go to our 40-man. All right, who wants a chance? Probably an infielder. Don't really need another DH type. I mean, Camarillo was a third-round pick in 2028. He's probably the guy we'll call up. He might not get a ton of playing time. Then we've got Marino. Those are the only hitters on our 40-man. We, of course, have plenty of room to add another guy. Like, who's playing middle? And Camarillo is playing second down there. Clay Grady, I don't think is ready. No. Tillman, you know, not doing a lot for me. We could call up Connor Norby, who can play some infield and has a decent bat. That honestly might be the play. And let Camarillo play down here. Yeah, why don't we do that? Let's call up Norby, and then we'll probably end up DFAing him, or maybe we'll catch lightning in a bottle. Who knows? He's making league minimum. That'll be fine. Man, what a deflating injury, though, huh? Huh? All right, let's give Matthews every 5th game there. We'll move Matthews here. We'll move Matthews here. We'll give Schreier some if starter tired there. But actually, and then we'll bring in Norby. We'll get a little bit of time at first base. Probably not play a ton. Let him play a little second base. Let him play a little left field. A little right field. Not too often. Enough time that if he's hitting well, we'll pick up on him and play him some more. And then against lefties, well, we'll let Schreier come in. Here, I honestly, well, what am I going to do? Yeah, let's keep Bryce Matthews here as the backup. Put him here. Put him here. We're just going to let these guys play more against Barger. Barger's just going strictly platoon for now because we're going to give Norby a bunch of ABs here. Or actually, we'll move Schreier out. We'll continue to give Barger some time against lefties just in case he's hitting them well. But and then Norby can play every 4th game. Matthews will just do... Yeah, we'll do Norby here too. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. So yeah, just kind of showing you guys my process here of, I guess, how I make these decisions. But we want Norby to get some time in left field as well, but not too often. We'll do every 10th game. Jazz Chisholm. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty brutal. We'll see how these guys do with their defense. Has he played at shortstop? Yeah, he's had 2 starts. He's -.3. But I don't really want to judge it off of a week or two. But anyways, we'll get into the season here. Man, this could be a tough season with the injuries we have, but we'll go ahead and hop ahead here some and see how things play out for us. Okay, up to June 1st. We're 26-31. We flirted with 500 off and on. We kind of ended May a little cold. April was bad, 11-17, but May we came back. We're 15-14. And at times, yeah, I think we were like 22-22. Offense, we're 13th. Runs scored, we're tied for 5th. Our bullpen ERA is 1st in the AL, which is surprising. Starters ERA was 12th, which is also surprising. Kind of expected these to be opposite, to be honest with you. And we are 10th in zone rating, 16th in BABIP. Made some changes on the defense because it just wasn't working out. Made one trade. We got... excuse me. We got Jose Barrera from the Calgary Chickadees. We traded a 24-year-old minor league left fielder, Antonis Macias, who we don't really see a future with. We traded. This was the main guy. Paravano is a dude we signed for just $130,000, but looks like he might be okay. But the low intelligence, lack of defensive excellence, made him easy to give up. And then they wanted a veteran back. I guess they wanted Jake Fraley. in their minor league system. So we got Barrero because he's just going to be a better shortstop. He's come over and has a 162 WRC plus in 9 games for us. He's been solid offensively in this sim, I think it would be fair to say. I mean, 2025 he was rough, but 26, a little bit of down years there, but, really bringing down his 162 game average is his real life stats. So in this game, he's been decent, and he's a much better, his range is listed as the same as a lot of my guys, 65, but his career fielding, he's a plus 17.7 at shortstop. You can see it was 10.0 and then last year, and then was off to a good start this year. He's plus 1.1 already in 9 games for us. So had to make that move. We do have some more injuries somehow. Drew Burris is missing a month with a torn thumb ligament. He was playing all right. He went cold towards the end. He was up more around 110 for a while, WRC plus, and then went cold. Kendry Rojas, who was pitching really well with a 2.73 ERA in 26 1/3 innings in a long relief role after finally getting a shot. He ruptured his UCL, so out he goes. And Gabriel Rios, we know about this one. Yeah, so Moran is 4 weeks away. Burris is 2 weeks away. Arias looking like August. So, yeah, so Martinez is what, October, right? So we got to make the postseason. Right, July, August, September, October, yeah. So let's look more at the team. Vlad having a good year at the 132 WRC plus. Kirk and his walk here looking good. Sal Frelick having a really nice year so far with no home runs. It's so interesting that he has a 128 WRC plus with no home runs. Now he's on pace for 43 doubles. He's walking almost as much as he's striking out. His center field defense is totally good with a 2.3 positive zone rating, so he's not hurting our defense. Juan Soto, we just need more. We just need more from Juan. Barrero, that's a mix of both teams. Kobe Mayo, solid. Jazz Chisholm has ended up playing a lot more than we thought because of the injuries. 103 WRC plus. Barger, again, this zone rating just not helping him. Why is Jazz's zone rating so low? Man, that's surprising. Well, in left field, he's looking okay, which is where he's mainly playing for us right now, I think. Yeah, he's playing in left field. Barger, man, negative 3.3 zone rating. Thought he'd be better at second base last year. Thought he'd be better than this in the outfield this year. His bat's going to need to pick up if he's going to be a liability in the outfield. Orlando Arcia, his zone rating was in the negative. His bat is fine, but honestly, I'm trying Schreier at second base to see if we can get his bat going. He's been better defensively at second base. 1.9 positive zone rating in just 8 games. That's not sustainable, I don't think, but looking for that defense. Matthews, Gomez, Norby have all been really bad. Looking to find a way to get Junior Marino on this roster. 181 WRC plus. He's seen another jump in power. I mean, he's just really good. But I'm just not sure what to do with him because then I need to play him or Soto in the outfield then. And I just hate having a bad outfield. I could play Soto in right, and Marino at DH, but I don't feel great about it. But the offense sucks. It's not like the fielding is good though. So, but I think that's coming, if not now, very soon. Let's take a look at my minor league short list. These are all my batters. Some of these guys are already up, like Barger. Camarillo is really struggling in AAA. Ferreira, I should probably have him up to A-ball, huh? Yeah, he's 20. He played decent last year, although he wasn't playing a ton. Did he get hurt? Not really, so he really wasn't cracking the lineup every day. I'll leave him down there to start the year and see how he does. Figueroa, absolutely crushing AAA. 150 WRC plus. I'm going to give him another month down there and then probably bump him up to AAA if he's still crushing it. Hunter, look at this guy. He struggled in rookie ball last year, but because of his age, this is our 2028 second-round pick, and now he's hitting really well in A-ball so far. Just 42 games, so we'll give him some more time to see if he continues that. Cade Kurland is probably a lost cause at this point. Junior Marino, we already talked about. Jim McEachern, hitting really well in A-ball, and he's older. I think we can probably bump him up to high A now and let him cook there for a little bit. Jorge Moreno is struggling, our third-round pick from 2026, struggling in high A. Anthony Murphy is 22 and hitting really well in high A. I think probably he will get a bump July 1st if he continues to hit well. Brady Meridia. Yeah, we'll go with that. 2026 round 4 pick, a catcher. Hitting really well in high A so far. We'll give him another month and see how he's doing. Namala, probably a lost cause. Obenhaus hitting really, really well in Double A. This guy could be coming soon. I don't know that he's a star, but with this range, he's could be a really solid player for us. I think he's going to get the call to AAA sooner rather than later. Romero is a two-way player who is a starting pitcher, pitching well. The bat is league average so far in A-ball. He's 22. He'll get a bump soon if he keeps pitching well. Spindler, his defense is looking good, but his bat is a little weak so far in A-ball. He'll stay there. Terrell, not getting a ton of playing time in Double-A, but looking okay. And Vargas struggling in High A. Hagen Wright, our 9th-round pick from 2025, who was really good last year at the bat, struggling in his jump to Double-A. Burris, we know. Schreier, we know. Bryce Matthews, we know. Antonio Gomez, I don't know why. Okay, not all those guys are on my short list. For some reason, sometimes it just like continues for a little bit on your short list beyond it. So pitchers, Barreria, he's in the bullpen, not doing too well in AAA. Carmen still hurt, but our first-round pick from 2028 pitched really well in A-ball before getting hurt. Mike Dunlin is in AAA and just kind of dominating. He's on pace for 5.1 WAR, so he could get the call soon. Fluharty is pitching well for us in the bigs. Mora, an international free agent, signing a possible future bullpen arm, pitching in high A and doing decently. Palencia, pitching in the pen in A-ball. Don't love that. He's doing okay. The 30 control, just, not great. Romero is a two-way player who we already talked about. Rumble is killing it in Double-A, our first-round pick from 2027. He's 24. He struggled in Double-A last year, but now with this start, I think it's time to bump him up because he is repeating the level and doing really well. So we're going to bump him up to Triple-A. Hagen Smith is up and doing okay for us. I guess I didn't look at pitchers yet, did I? Did I skip right over my pitchers? I think I did. Yeah, I did. We'll go back and look at him. Levi Sterling, doing all right. Ricky Tiedemann, of course, is hurt. Turnquist, not doing great in AAA. Jan, not doing great in AAA. And let me go back and show you how my staff is doing. Jones, bad ERA, decent FIP. Rogers, not great on either. Ashby, good ERA, solid FIP. And Mason Black with not great numbers, but serviceable. Hagen Smith, same, not great numbers, but serviceable. Dylan Cease with a 1.53 ERA, 3.57 FIP. Rogers, the 1.84 ERA. Romano's been good. Fluharty's been good. Coleman's gotten on track after a rough start. Beeks kind of gotten on track after a rough start. Almonte, 2.30 ERA, 3.97 FIP. Our least used reliever by a decent bit, which I don't love. I guess I could put him 8th plus or later. And then Noble Mayer came up when our long reliever got hurt. He was pitching really well in 10 starts with a 1.4 WAR, 1.2 R WAR. ERA was just 4.66, but he was pitching really well, so we called him up. He was already on the 40-man, so here he is. Should we take a look at the draft? I guess we should take a look at the draft. Let's do it. First-year player draft. All right. Let's see who the first couple picks are. The White Sox, by the way, jumped from 12 to 1. Ridiculous. And they picked this guy. It looks like dude, I don't know. No power. Can't play shortstop. Can't play center. Low work ethic. Low intelligence. I'd be a hard pass on this guy. Where was he supposed to go? 4th. Yeah, no, I'm not picking that guy first overall. Let's see who goes to Miami. Rhett Drinkard. Coffin Drinkard. Yeah, that's a good pick. Well, I like that pick. Very developed college arm. Washington picks Steve PCA Wagner. What is PCA? From out of Bellevue, a high school senior. All right. Cool. Let's pick to Toronto. We pick all the way at 32nd overall because of comp picks and expansion. We do have 2 second-round picks because of the comp pick for Varsho. So our scouting director recommends a high school center fielder who is not actually a center fielder. He's a 50 range. He's a right fielder. Can he play third base? Yeah, he can play third base. High work ethic. Okay. Let's look at our draft hitter. Let's look at all batters. Let's look at what college bats are left. So if we want another first base DH type, we could draft this guy, and he'd probably be in the show in a couple of years. Oh, wow. I kind of like this guy. Don't love the personality, but his bat has really developed. The 70 range. That's honestly my favorite guy so far. This guy's got the 70 infield range, and he's a two-way player. I don't know if he's going to pitch. He's got 4 pitches. I thought I only had 2 for a second. Yeah, I don't know. I like him more as like a 7. Yeah, he can play all around the diamond except for center field and catcher pretty much. Kind of like that. But I don't love his bat. This guy at the 75 range. Jeez. Low intelligence. All right, let's look at all players for a second. Got a whole bunch of high school bats here. They're just so far away, man. So much risk in these profiles. And none of them are like a 70 range guy like that center fielder that I really liked. Yeah, Mike Kleindinst, I kind of like. I think he could be my guy, but let's look at like college starting pitchers. Okay. I don't love that he doesn't have a third pitch yet. I'm not in on that guy. Oh, wow, this guy, Chris Harris. I mean, Chris Harris, I think, is the pick. Look at, he's already got the pitches developed. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I think I'm like all in on that guy. And this guy's got a 65 potential stuff. Low intelligence. Doesn't have as good of a pitch mix. Yeah, dude, Chris Harris is the guy here. What does he want? And he's below slot. Was he predicted to go anywhere here? By the way, there's the guy who fell to us. I don't think he's going to be around for us in the second round, which is a bummer. Who am I looking for again? I can't even remember anymore what the guy's name is because I got distracted by realizing that I would love if that center fielder was still on Chris Harris. But I think I like Harris better. Like, he's just kind of like, I don't want to say can't miss, but man, he could be really nasty. Yeah, let's draft him. College arms, man. Out of the park 25, late first round. I'm all about those college arms now, which is a bit of a change for me. All right, let's go up to our next pick. A high school right fielder. Yeah. So let's look at all batters. Yeah, our guy's not out there anymore. When did he go? Oops, no, draft log. That Klein whatever guy. Where's our pick? Toronto. Did not go in the first round or the supplemental round. Okay, he went round 2, pick 8 to Cleveland. That's a great pick at that spot, man. That's really good value. Yeah, I didn't expect him to be there, unfortunately, but oh well. We've got this 75 infield range guy who has high work ethic, low intelligence, though. He's 22. Got this 21-year-old two-way player with the 70 infield range and a decent bat. Those are kind of like leaders for me at this point, I think. I'd like to go college bat here. Just make sure we aren't missing like a monster power guy who can play all over the diamond. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's Minor. I'm calling him Dan Minor. It's not Meaner, guys. Don't even tell me that. Meaner or Wells is kind of where I'm leaning. Or maybe this guy. Oh, it's Wallace. It's not Walls. So there's Walls, and let's look at Meaner. So potential-wise, better power here, better contact for Walls, better avoid K, and I for Walls. Defensive, I mean, you got 70 versus 75. But then this guy's also a two-way player. You know, I don't know that I should be drafting. Like, I don't know that he's a good enough. I mean, he could develop, right? But it's not like you're looking at him like, oh, this guy's going to be a two-way stud for me. He's probably a shortstop and maybe a pitcher. Wallace wants slot. Minor wants about half slot, less than half slot. He's 22. How far apart are they in age? He's just turned 22 in 80 days. So he's almost a year older. Leader, loyalty, ambition, high work ethic, low intelligence. Ugh. I don't know. This one is a tough one, guys. He can't play outfield, really. I think Wallace can, right? Yeah, we're going to go with Wallace. Tough pick, but college bat here. We're going to go with Mike Wallace. Now, this is our Varsho compensation pick. Computer still wants us to take that guy. Minor is still there. Could go him again. Two college starters are still out there. No, thank you. High intelligence is intriguing here. Dalton Juno. Juno? So there's, yeah, Dan Minor is tempting him, but I could also go like, I'm fine going high school bat here. Like, is this a guy that my scout? Yeah, I actually kind of like that guy. Shoot, got out of order there. Yeah, I kind of like Soroka here. I'm going to take him. I think he's a little over slot, but we've saved some money earlier. So yeah, we're going to go with Soroka. I like that pick. Next, you want somebody to go with a high school catcher. Don't mind that. High intelligence, good framing skills, possible power bat. Is Minor still out there? Nah, he went. This is the top college bat, who doesn't really do much for me. This guy could play infield and outfield, which I don't mind. He's 23, though. This guy's still out there, Dalton Juno. Let's pick him. I was thinking about him last time. I think he's a good value here in the third round. He wants slot. Do it to it. Mike Reiki, a high school pitcher who wants way under slot. Yeah, I'll go with my scout here. He wants way under slot. Might allow us to go over slot a little later. Here we are in the fifth round. Yeah, I kind of like this high school catcher, to be honest. I mean, he's fragile already, but that framing with this power, like, that's hard to pass up. Could he play anywhere else? No. He wants over slot, but we can more than afford that. I like this pick. We're going Kevin Jennings. Fozzie. Let's do a few more. Wantabay. Doesn't really do much for me, to be honest. Huh, he's the top hitter available, though. Do anybody with absurd range who would be worth reaching for at this point? He's 23. Don't love that. I don't mind this guy. He's got the 70 infield range. He's got the 60 outfield range. High school bat. Let's draft him. Let's take a chance on the high intelligence guy. Darren Sandoval. No. That arm was like an immediate no for me. A bunch of these guys just can't field anywhere. Ooh, this is a decent looking player for this point in the draft. He wants 650. I think we can afford that. Oops, wrong thing. Yeah, we can more than afford that. All right, I'll mess around with the rest of the draft and come back and recap the episode in a second. So the draft is done. Now I think like the final decision is like, can I just like convince myself that Marino's bat is worth it? And it is, but his defense just makes me want to eat a hat. I think that I could, I can easily DFA Norby. He's been bad. The WRC plus of 3 in 68 plate appearances. I mean, now the BABIP, 182. But, nothing lost by DFAing him. So then we'll call up Marino. I think he's already on the 40-man. Yeah. Oh, he's angry that he's down there. Well, this is his last option here. Wowzers. His offense has just like taken off in the last 2 years to where we just kind of like, and his ratings have come along. I mean, look at this. Look at this walk to strikeout rate. That's crazy. And he hits for crazy power. I mean, he could be a special hitter, but it's just the fact that we already have Soto. And honestly, like, our corner outfielders are hitting okay. Like, Chisholm's a 103. So it's like, is Chisholm at a 103 better than, like, Soto at, like, I don't know. I mean, hopefully a 120. I'm not sure of the answer to that. But we're going to find out because our offense is struggling, and we need to do something. So we're going to bring Soto in. Marino will go into DH. We are going to put Soto down here to play a good bit, though. Every fourth game, we're going to put Chisholm as the defensive replacement for left field, and then we'll just no, you're not going to do that anymore, Bryce. We'll put and then Marino comes in, and we'll bring Soto down, make Chisholm the defensive replacement, and then still give Soto some time here. Where do we want Marino to hit? Yeah, I think that's fine for now. I think I might move Kirk up to split out the lefty-righties just a little bit better. So, yeah. All right. Well, here goes nothing, I guess, so to speak, as they say. We've got a really bad defender in left field, but we're going to try to live with it. We are going to try to live with it. Maybe he should be in right with his arm, but I don't know. He's not played well in right. Maybe he'll play better in left because that's kind of like what he's listed as. I'm just making stuff up. That's not a thing. Okay, so I normally like to clear out my messages here at multiple points during the season. I'm going to do it here. We're going to delete all our messages so then we know when our draft picks have come back with their reactions. So let's see. This will probably be. Ooh, we won 13-1. Did Marino play? He did. He went 2 for 4. Bryce Matthews pinch hit for him and did well. I don't really know that I want Bryce Matthews. Like, this dude's here to mash. He went 2-for-4 with a double and a ribby. I mean, whatever. I'll leave that alone. But so did Soto. Yeah, Soto got the day off. Soto didn't play. I guess he needed a breather, maybe. But Chisholm had a big day. He's like, man, I'm not going down without a fight here. My WRC plus is now as good as Juan Soto's. Big day for Ashby. 5 shutout innings, 10K, 1 hit, 2 walks. Let's see what a couple more days of Marino brings us here. 8-4. In this one, he went 1-for-4 with 2 runs scored. Looks like it was a single. Barger, Arcia, Mayo, and Gomez all went yard. Mason Black, just doing his thing of being okay, being decent. All right, let's do one more here against the O's. All right, so we swept the O's. We're up to 29-31. Oh boy, this goofball wants to start. I mean, you have been pitching well. Maybe you should be in over Mason Black, but I don't know, dude. So this was our 8th round pick that we paid over slot for. So he is, we're going to start him in A-ball. 75 pitches sounds good. This was another high school arm. So, when I said A-ball, I meant rookie ball. We're going to give you a pitch count of 80 and add you to the short list. I normally do like my top 5 picks where guys I pay over slot for. We got a top player of the week, 348. So he's not playing a ton, but he went on a tear here. Okay, so that'll do it for this episode. We're 29-31. So many injuries. So many Juan Sotos not living up to the hype. I mean, Chisholm is now out producing Soto at the plate. Soto's down to a 109 WRC plus. His on base is still 371, but I mean, he's on pace for 27 doubles and 19 home runs. Like, come on, bro. $40 million, man. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time as we get into the trade deadline. Talk to you then.